This week on the weekly update we're going to be looking at the launch of the three new VR headsets, the Rift S, the Valve Index and the Oculus Quest. We're also going to be looking at a possible live sub-stream which might be going on 24/7. We're going to have a little look at Ghost Giants and also some information about the Hackstock event that's coming up with Sci-Fi London. All that coming up on this week's weekly update. Greetings and welcome fellow YouTubers and VR enthusiasts. First up, the apologies. I do apologise for not doing an update for the past 2 weeks. The first one of those was a bank holiday weekend and I was spending time with my family doing personal stuff. So I do apologise but not by making an update for then. I was going to make an update last weekend, but I got into testing this 24-hour sub live stream, which is one of the first things that I want to talk to you about. Now, as some of you guys may or may not have known, last week I was testing out a sort of, well, what I just said, a PSVR community sub live stream for 24 hours. I just wanted to see if it was possible. Over the past several months, we've seen all of this PewDiePie versus T-Series going on, and I was like kind of wondering, how do you do something like that? How do you create those sort of web channels? You know, the comparison of the two subscribers. And whilst I was working out how people actually did that and how to create something like that, I thought, wouldn't it be good to have a permanent PSVR community web page, well, live stream page, that shows all of the PSVR players and streamers, such as like Gamertag, PSVR Frank, that guy is Will, Danish, and all the other great people that play PSVR out there. And I was like, so what I did was I managed to work out how to do this, and I grabbed a lot, I think about like 20 different YouTubers, and I put their names up plus how many subs that they've got, and each time that there was a new sub come in, it will automatically update to say the latest amount of subs each one's had. And I let that stream for about 24 hours. And it worked. I was quite surprised I managed to get it actually working. It might have been a bit of a sloppy effect. I might not put much details into it because I was doing this on my laptop, and as that was going on my laptop I couldn't really do anything else, so I couldn't create any more update videos or animations whilst that was doing what it was doing. So I wanted to try and get a sort of feel for this sort of thing, because I know if I left that on for like 24/7, it'll give me a huge electrical bill. But apart from that, it would also leave Max PSVR is live streaming in your inbox or your YouTube channel permanently whilst I'm doing that. And I don't know if that will be something that you guys would mind, or if that will be a problem for you guys. Because what I was thinking of is if I had this sort of like community centre that can see all these YouTubers up and running, their sub count as they grow or decrease or whatever, people could come in, chat, talk with anyone else in there, try to raise awareness for our community, trying to get more subs in for everyone involved. And even if you're not up on the list, just tell me your channel's name, and I'll put you up on there as long as you are predominantly a PSVR member, streamer member. or you work in the PSVR community, I'll quite happily put you up there. Just move it around a bit, shrinks, grow, expand, just so that we can try and get some sort of back and forth going through it. And if I was to do this, I would need to set up a dedicated server. Now, I think I can do this up at my workplace. I will be able to get a dedicated server installed to run this 24/7, so that it should be up there permanently 24/7, and people can just log in and do stuff. But as I said, it will state that that is running whenever you log into YouTube. So I kind of just wanted your thoughts and your take on that. Should that be something that I would do? Would you unsubscribe if I do it, or would you encourage more people to subscribe? Would it be a great community centre for people to get together and have a chat? Call it sort of like a Discord server in itself. But let me guys know what you think. If it is something that I should do, then I will cobble together a permanent 24/7 server and try and put that up online. If it's something that you think that I shouldn't do, or I should leave well alone, let me know, and I won't do it. But at the moment, it's been pretty much positive, so I am kind of leaning on towards actually doing that. Okay. Next up, what do we have here? We have Ghost Giant. Okay. The one Ghost Giant came. Ghost Giant has been one of these games that everyone's been. Well, I say everyone who's watched the trailers for it. We've been looking forward to this game for quite some time, and it was a pretty impressive game. I actually really quite enjoyed watching that. And well, I say watching it because it was a sort of an interactive story with a few minor small puzzle elements to try and figure out. And it was deeply engrossing and engaging, and it was really quite cute, and at some times quite sad. Because I'm not. The story in itself was pretty hard hitting compared to some of the topics that you go into, but because of it was going into it in that such level, it really made the game worthwhile play and a thoroughly engaging and enjoyable experience. I think that it is a little bit expensive at, say, £20 in the UK store. Well, let's say if it come down to about £15, I think that will be the time to actually get it. But if you watch the video and you watch the walkthrough, because I did the playthrough from beginning to end, and as I said, I do quite enjoy some of the scenes and the environments. It has its own unique style of storytelling. For instance, when you're like playing this particular music, you have to rotate the house around so you can see the story as it plays inside, and it has its own mechanics to make it look like, yes, it is supposed to do this. You're supposed you pull a lever and cogs and gears change, and then the house would rotate up as if it's natural and it's supposed to do that, but it is completely artificial just so that you can watch it as a stage performance unveils itself and plays out for you. And although it sort of breaks the immersion when you see like these cogs and gears and you realize that it is putting on a play production for you, it is done quite beautifully. For instance, as I said, the piano scene, when the piano starts playing and you make this new set of music, the stars come down on strings in front of you, the world turns light, the lighting effect it just dims and makes it all surreal, and it really was quite enjoyable. Because the play itself rolls itself out in front of you and works itself around your own field of view. And yeah, I don't think I've seen pretty much any other type of game that does that sort of storytelling and interactivity. I know some 2D platforms like Little Big Adventure or Little Big Planet did something similar to that, but it didn't really quite as work to the level of in-depth detail that Ghost Giant did. And I certainly recommend it. If you like a story-driven game with a little bit of drama and some puzzle and plot elements in there, get this game, because you will enjoy it, and you will enjoy its method of storytelling. Okay, right. Okay, so now onto the main part of this video, the VR headsets. So earlier on this month, F8 was shown, and we all tuned into that, and well, it was a little bit up and down, really. I mean, we was all tuning into the F8 because we was waiting to hear about the Oculus Quest. Yes, also we knew that the Rift S was also supposed to be launching at the same time as the Quest, or, well, let's just say we didn't know, but we all gathered that will be the case. So when the F8 program was launched, everyone tuned in on it, and I thought it was kind of funny at the beginning, because right at the beginning the guy came up on stage, everyone was giving woo, yay, we all know we want VR, yay, and then he said, and then he went into his speech saying, right, now I'm going to talk to you about something important. What? I'm going to talk to you about social platform media. What? Social platform media? Oh. It was totally dead silence when he came to about the same. We don't care about the social platform media. We don't care about Facebook. Yeah, I know this is like Facebook F8, but we want to know about the Oculus Quest. So I think that the presenter really knew kind of what we was there hoping for, and he was like sort of stringing us along, pardon me, stringing us along, telling us about all these other little features about Facebook, and gathering that we just didn't care about. We wanted the Oculus Quest. And then after about, say, about 20 or 30 minutes, I don't know, I kind of fell asleep, he finally went into it. He finally started talking about it. And then we got the Oculus Quest, still got information about the Rift S. And yay, and that's when we found out that they were doing the launch and shipping on the 21st of May, this month. So, well, we was kind of a little bit down because we were sort of hoping that they were going to be launched right there and then. But no, it's the 21st of May, and yay, that's good to know. I've booked it. I went straight onto Amazon and immediately booked it, and now I've got my pre-orders down, and I can't wait until it comes in. So we are looking forward to that. So when it came. But also, within a day, I heard news that Steam dropped it onto us completely out of the blue. I did not know about this. Steam said, oh, by the way, we got our VR headset. We've got our Index, the Valve Index headset that's coming out. And I thought, looking at it, I think, whoa, I knew nothing about this. It was just like totally out of the blue, in fact, but apparently they've been sending out little signals and such. So at this part of the video, I want to go through a little bit of details, a little bit of information that I managed to pick up from the three different headsets, from the Valve Index, the Rift S, and the Oculus Quest. Okay. First up on the chopping block, we have the Valve Index. Now the Valve Index is going to be a powerhouse of a VR headset. It's going to be one of the most powerfulest VR headsets out there, and I've got the specs down here to say why. But unfortunately, with that power comes a cost. Now, if you're going to go into this as a first-time VR buyer, you're going to have a pretty hefty wallet to buy this. By hefty, I mean £999 for the entire lot, just for the headset. When I mean entire lot, this you can be purchasing this in parts. So if you've already got the base unit 1.0 sensor system for, let's say, the Rift, you don't need to buy the base unit for this model, because it will work with the previous base unit. However, if, like you said, you've got nothing there, you need to buy the headset, the knuckle controllers, the bass units, all of that will come to about £999 UK. So looking for a grand just to build this. And second up, you are going to need a pretty beefy PC. Now, one of the reasons you're going to need to need a pretty beefy PC is because of the display that this thing has, and it's impressive. Well, okay, first up, the display is 1440, so 1440 times 1600, so 1440 times 1600 LCD. So they're using liquid crystal displays for the screens rather than LEDs. But that's not the impressive part. The impressive part is the refresh rate, boasting a whopping 120 to 144 hertz a second. I'm not sure if that's like frame rates per second. I thought that they originally did say it was 120 frame rates per second, but then they changed it to 120 hertz, which is league ahead of all the others. Now, mostly they're looking at minimum of 90 hertz per game, but they did say that the Valve is going to be backwards compatible for any other games that can't meet those refresh rates. But as I said, you will need to be able to have a beefy enough PC that can handle this sort of display, outputting this much. So you're going to need a pretty beefy PC and with an excellent graphics card to go with this. So if you want the powerhouse and you've got the money to fork it out, the Valve Index looks like it's going to be the leading contender out of the three at the moment. Yep, as I said, standard two sensors, two extra sensors, 6 degrees of freedom, and the field of view is adjustable. They didn't actually go into how what exactly is there a field of view, but you can actually adjust it if you've got like glasses such as yours truly. Okay. Next up is the Rift S. Now the Rift S, they did say that it's not going to be as powerful as the Index that I just went in, but it is a pretty good contender for the PC variant. So if you've got the PC, now the Rift S is looking at say about £399, just the same as the Oculus Quest. It says that the minimum specifications you are going to need for the Rift S is going to be somewhere along the lines of an i5 core processor, i5-4590 with 8 gigabytes of RAM, and preferably a NVIDIA type graphics adapter. Actually, oh damn it, my notes didn't actually go all the way over to the edge, so I can't see the rest of that. But yeah, you are going to need a good decent graphics card to go with that PC i5 core processor and 8 gigabytes of RAM, and that's the recommended specification. The display for the Rift S is 1440 by 1280, 1440 by 1280. I think they were OLEDs. I might have to double check that. Ask him down below. Say, was it OLEDs or LCD displays for the Rift S? Here you go. Thanks. Now the refresh rate of this is, again, as I said, is not as great as the Valve, but it's still an impressive 80 hertz a second for the refresh rate. The field of view, again, they didn't actually go into the actual details of the field of view, but they just said that the field of view, or the FOV, is slightly better than that of the Rift. So we're looking for a little bit better area of view than the Rift. It is supported the inside-out technology, so you don't need base sensors for the Rift, as it has one internal front-mounted camera that it uses to do its tracking. And also, again, this comes with 6 degrees of freedom to allow you to play and move and do whatever you need. So I personally think, even though it's reducing in other areas, I personally think that this inside-out technology is going to be the way to go. It is going to be replacing sensors, and I certainly think that that's how we should be going moving forward with this inside-out technology. Okay, lastly, but no means leastly, my personal favourite, the Oculus Quest. Now, I personally think that the Quest is going to revolutionise the whole way that we're going to be doing gaming moving forward. Yes, I know that out of all three, the Quest is going to be the least powerful because it uses the mobile phone technology, the Snapdragon CPU. It is the least powerful of these three headsets. However, I mean, it does boast a more impressive screen resolution of 1440 by 1600, a little bit better than the Rift S, and using OLED technology to go with that. The refresh rates is at 72 Hertz, so it is a little bit less than the Rift. But also supports a 100-degree FOV, field of view, for your eyes. But the thing that makes the Oculus Quest my personal favourite is its total freedom of what it can do. It requires no PCs, so no base units, no external sensors. You don't need a console for this. You don't even need to be in your own home to do this. It is a mobile VR device. You can take it on the go. You can take it to your workplace. You can take it to your friends. You can take it wherever you want to go, and it will work wherever you take it to. The only exception being is that it will have problems in the sunlight. So you might not want to be walking down the streets playing Beat Saber, although I do want to at least try and see if I can play Beat Saber on a crowded train one day. The inside-out technology uses 4 front-mounted cameras that look at the area around you to see where you are in proportion to the area itself. Addition to this, it has a defense system that you can set up. So if you are going to an area, you can set a safe space that you're supposed to be able to work in, and if you walk outside of that area, the view will flip over to a grayscale version of your cameras imposed over your game, so you can actually see what's going on around you. So if you're about to hit the wall or TV or furniture or anything because it's outside of your area, if you start moving in closer to it, you'll get a grey screen pop up so that you can actually see what you're about to hit your head into, which I think is quite decent. You might be able to do that on the go, and some playtesters have said it's kind of annoying having to keep on setting that up every time that they put the headset down. But I think that going forward they might be able to patch this over so that you can set areas where you're in, or predefined areas like what the HoloLens does. Because that's kind of what the inside-out technology reminds me of. It reminds me a little bit of the HoloLens. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Inside-out technology, 6 degrees of freedom, FOV 100 degrees, refresh rate 72, display 2x1440 by 1600 OLEDs. No minimum specification needed for the PC because it doesn't need a PC. And yeah, The Oculus Quest, as I said, I've ordered it. Hopefully it'll come around on the 21st and I'll be doing an unboxing here. Got a lot of games that are ready to play for it as well. I have been told that there are a lot of cross-platform games that are open for it, such as the I Expect You to Die. If you've got I Expect You to Die on the PC, I don't know about the PlayStation yet, but if you've got I Expect You to Die on the PC, then you would also have a copy waiting for you if you've got the Quest. So there are a lot of cross-play games that are ready for that. So those are the free VR headsets that are coming out. I know which one that I'm going for. What one are you planning to get? I mean, do you have the money to get the Index, or would you rather be going mobile like yours truly and take your show on the road and see if you can like play, show your friends and family at their place of residence all your wonderful VR technology? So what would you rather go for? What headsets would you like to play? Okay, lastly on here, I want to talk about Hackstock, because with all of this wonderful VR technology, all this new technology coming in, this is the perfect time for Hackstock event. Now, some of you guys know that I do some voluntary work for this organisation called Sci-Fi London. I'll put the links down in the description for them. And they do fantastic films. They do a 48-hour film challenge. They go into all sorts of details that's sci-fi geeks such as ourselves love to talk about and go into. We get celebrities that come to our events, all different types. And the event that I'm most fond of and most interested in is the Hackstock event. Now the Hackstock event, what we did with last year, we had loads of people, VR developers, bringing in their wares, showing off their toys, gadgets, gizmos, their songs, their games. We had Very VR that's coming in there, we had Wipeouts down there, we had PlayStation VR. We had someone that set up a VR museum to recreate all the mythology stuff that ISIS was currently destroying at the moment, which we recreated in VR. We even had a brain analyzer, so someone put like these little brain scanners on your head, and you could like try and see if you could push, pull, do stuff. We also always have like the HoloLens in one form or another. Last year we did Double Me, which was a giant massive portal system where people were like dancing in one room and you could actually see them holographically performing live in another area through the use of the HoloLens. And you just got so many wonderful technologies that was going on. I think one of the favourite ones was the Star Wars lightsaber battles. Now, the Star Wars lightsaber battle was a VR headset device in itself. They basically plunked down onto two people. One person was down in Greenwich, North Greenwich, near the O2. That's where I was. And also the other one was down at Stratford Picture House in, Stratford. And they... over this area, people were like just like lightsaber dueling each other, and with this awesome technology. It's not actually out for the public. If you wanted this, you'll probably have to like fork out several grand just to play this one game. But hey ho, this is what we do. We have fun with toys and gadgets and gizmos that you won't see out there on the store because it's not really that available for most people. Now, to get into this, it is a free event, so you don't have to pay for it. However, because of the venue we're doing this year, space is going to be limited. So, to get in, you're going to need a password to get into our event. Now, the password will be generated for you. Now, I can't give out the password because we don't know what the password is ourselves. But if you go to the Sci-Fi London events that I'll put down in the description, look up Hackstock and say that you'd want to go to one of the events at a certain time, then a password will be generated for you, and that password you will need to give to the people at the door. So once you give that password to the people at the door, they'll then let you in, they'll show you around, they'll give you access to all the different wonderful toys, gizmos and gadgets. You might even see yours truly over there trying to help set up and, I wouldn't say organise it, because I'm just a volunteer, just trying to help out and make sure everything has a good time. I'm very much a VR enthusiast in this area, and one that I really do enjoy. So, if you do want to come and see me down at Hackstock, the Hackstock days are 16th, Thursday the 16th, Friday the 17th, and Saturday the 18th, I think that's right. So Thursday, Friday and Saturday, 15th, 16th or 17th or 16th, yeah. What was the date? What was the date? I've just gone, my mind's just gone flippantly. Yeah, Thursday the 16th, Friday the 17th and Saturday the 18th. But that doesn't mean to ignore the rest of the festival, because there's so much wonderful stuff. Speaking of the rest of the festival, I have managed to get permission to use the 48-hour film challenge entries again for this year. Because last year I did this 5-minute movie nights, which I did last year, which were basically the entries for the 48-hour film challenge. And I think it was a good success. I think we've got quite a lot of people that quite enjoyed it. And once I get the films downloaded and ready, I will be doing the 5-minute movie night again. So that's another positive thing to be looking forward to. So I think that's that for the moment. Time for me to get this this show on the road. I do hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed creating this. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you guys out there.